Peace in the body. What is it and how do we experience it? This is the question Wren and Fallon explore in Season 3 of Mujeres Co-Labor for Peace.
When it comes to healing and you're stuck in healing, where can we invite in that energetic peace?
Bringing you expert advice in healing from a host of practices and practitioners, Wren and Fallon seek to increase complete wellness and lasting peace, one insight at a time.
Hey, hello, and welcome to Mujeres Co-Labor for Peace. This is episode 2 with your hosts, Wren Ribeiro
And Fallon's down.
We wish you complete wellness.
And lasting peace.
Do you feel like doing a heart check-in right off the bat?
Sure.
If not,
We can wait.
we can wait.
Okay.
Let's wait.
Okay.
Let's wait. So I know we had our first episode. Yay! So exciting.
Yeah.
And there was something in there that you shared, and I wanted to ask you about it if you were willing.
Yeah.
About your diagnosis that is kind of the root of why you are here in this moment.
Yeah.
Why you seek peace, why you bring peace to clients
So true.
in the body. And is there anything about that you want to share?
Yeah, it was the biggest activator for me in so many ways. Dark night of the soul, definitely grief provoking. You know, definitely stripped away all the layers of performance because you can't outperform a body that says no. And so humbling, right? Brings you to your knees in many ways. And it really forces you into a new layer of authenticity because you have to honor your body.
Where you are.
Yeah. And, you know, there were times where my soul really wanted to do something, but my body was having a no. My soul was having a yes, and my body was having a no.
Wow.
So
it's hard to navigate.
Yeah. Coming to terms with that and, you know, fosters deep listening and so much wisdom came out of it. Because
And how long ago was it? And kind of
Yeah.
What is the diagnosis officially?
Okay, so it was a long, 5-6 year journey.
Oh, wow.
And it started with just feeling so tired, dizzy, pressure in my head. There was neurological challenges, memory challenges. It just almost felt like I was looking at the world through a tube covered with saran wrap on the end. That's how I always described it. It just is like you're one step removed.
Yeah.
And of course, having no experience with this, it totally blew me out of my body, right? No peace, nowhere to come back to. I'm sure anyone that has dealt with chronic illness or chronic pain can empathize with this or understand this, but Western medicine has a beautiful place in the world, but it doesn't understand root cause and it doesn't understand chronic illness.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doctors, right?
There's
these
no
are
peace in that.
right. Invalidation, and then you feel like you're crazy. Talk about intuitive development and having to come back to your body and trusting that.
All by yourself.
All by
usually,
yourself.
Usually.
No support until you find your angels and your people. But that was my journey. So a lot of, doctor's visits, too many symptoms, it's not making sense. I think it's somatic, right? It might be in your head.
Psychosomatic, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Talk about disorienting and really feeling crazy.
Yeah.
And then I found my angel of an integrative medicine practitioner, Lauren Rosa. Shout out Lauren.
Yeah.
And amazing. So it was lots of layers, right? Like the layers of an onion. Chronic Epstein-Barr, which comes from mono, which attacked my thyroid, which led to Hashimoto's and Graves' disease. I actually have both. And actually, a step back, precursor to that was heavy metal toxicity. So mercury, lead, high levels of that is probably actually what attacked the thyroid in conjunction with Epstein-Barr. And then I worked in a school that was shut down for black mold. And
Bring it on, layer it. You mentioned onions.
On.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep, moved into a house that had some old issues. So it was just like, yeah, stripping back layers, figuring out what the root cause is. Thankfully, I had the support of Lauren at the time, but yeah, it really makes you come back into your body. Yeah. I think a lot of times we're not in our body until we're experiencing pain, right? We're sick or you're in pain, and then your focus is fully on your body. Mm-hmm. So it brings you back into your body, and I couldn't use the performance, pushing your way through it, put a smile on your face. So there's new levels of authenticity. And, you know, what I really learned is it's not the experience you're going through, but it's how you hold your experience. And how I held my symptoms could totally change my symptoms in a moment. And especially with my work, it was almost like using my brain and ego less, which is a great thing, and making space to listen to what wants to come through me. And just like, I would always do this prayer before each session of let Fallon step out of the way and let something bigger than me move through me.
Wow.
And when you're
the healing,
sick,
right?
Yeah, the healing, the wisdom of the divine spirit. Let the bigger energy that has more power move through me and let me step to the side. And with that, my symptoms got to step to the side, and I just really allowed a force to move through me. Wow. Realizing that the body is such a resource, but also learning how to move out of the way of your body and open up to something bigger.
To be the parent, you know, of this child symptom. Like the symptoms could be child that needs to be told, you no longer serve me.
Yes. Oh, that's so powerful. And again, it's not what you're going through, but how are you holding it? And holding it like, right, a wise elder, and allowing your symptoms to be a terrified little kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's, we had this conversation, a week ago?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's so my story, and it's not my story. It's so my story because I don't have any idea about the heavy metals in my body. I can feel them. I feel that sluggishness and that heavy energy, and I've had that experience for a long time. 15 years ago, I went for my memory test because I was losing it, and I was in a very intense corporate job, and I was like, I can't remember things, and I'm scared. You know, I had little kids at the time, and so 15 years ago was a long time, and I've reclaimed my memory.
Wow.
But when I heard you had Hashimoto's and Graves', I was like, I've never met anybody that also had both of them.
That has both.
And I had been diagnosed with both of them by an endocrinologist as well. And I was like, whoa, there's something so big here.
Yeah.
But your journey is so different because I didn't find it as an opening, like to slow down and you have to deal with this. And maybe it's because I asked my endocrinologist, I said, how often do the thyroid levels change?
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression from this person that they're fixed. That's it, forget it. And even though I'd seen them kind of move around, and we could talk about all like the levels and the specifics, because I'm sure we speak that language, but many others probably wouldn't understand that. So I'll skip all that part, although I'm fascinated and I really want to compare notes.
We'll geek out over it later.
Yeah. But I was like, how often do the thyroid levels change? And he was like, every 6 weeks. And that was my ticket. I'm like, I don't have it anymore. I'm going to move through it.
Wow.
So I denied it. Maybe that was the same journey. Maybe, you know, like just leading up to the diagnosis was, leading up to the diagnosis was similar. Like it was a lot of years. But then I just was like, no, you're not.
I'm not accepting this for myself.
Yeah.
And then what was your journey like from that point forward? How were you holding it or not holding it, or? Not
elegantly. Like I was more like fighting internally rather than listening. I was like, okay, so this is happening. Oh, it's because of this. It's because of that.
Yeah.
And I would, you know, like look for the source and be like, oh, I got to block this. I got to block that. that was part of the
Yeah.
journey. And I did do some listening, of course.
To be fair, I went through that as well.
Did
There were
you?
days where I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to die. This is all
Yeah,
over. No one
yeah.
will ever be able to fix me. But
Right,
just
right.
wanted to validate that piece that it's part of it.
It's so real.
And it's okay if you go back to that scared place or the terrified place, or to our metaphor, the child takes over, right? And the symptoms take over. But it's like what you come back to. So anyways, back to you. How did you kind of come back to it?
Well, I guess was like trusting in the time it was going to take me. All right, so how long will it be? 6 weeks. The insurance won't pay for it every 6 weeks. So once a year. Next year, I'm going to make sure that my levels are down.
Okay.
And so, I was like,
Because you were still tracking it.
I was tracking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really interesting, like the boxes that a lot of our Western medicine practitioners are in, and that feels very harmful. I almost mentioned that last episode because I was like, the pain.
Yeah.
But like you found, there are alternative
Yeah.
supports, and there are practitioners who get it, who get how intersectional our whole body is, and how
Yeah.
you have to look at all the parts at the same time.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the multidimensional nature of it, or the spiritual nature of it, is just
Right.
praying, or setting the intention, or offering it up to something bigger. Like, okay, I'm stuck here. I don't know the way forward, but I know how I feel, and I'm not going to internally gaslight how I feel. But I'm stuck here, so show me the way.
Yeah.
Ended up having someone refer me to the place where I found Lauren, and I just said to the receptionist on the phone, like, connect me to whoever you think would be the best fit. And then Lauren ended up being a good
The
friend
best
of
fit.
mine, and the
Nice.
best fit, yeah.
Nice.
So it's powerful sometimes when we get stuck with our own logic, or with Western medicine in our own minds.
And feel like my mom put all her faith in doctors, and she passed 24 years ago this month, in another week, and will be the anniversary. And she just trusted all of them, and without question.
Yeah.
And she was having seizures at work, like code blue seizures, and her oncologist didn't tell her it's time to stop driving. I had to tell her
Wow.
it's time to stop driving, which is a hard
Wow.
position to be in.
As her daughter.
Yeah.
And taking away her autonomy, because
Right.
it's necessary for life and death.
Exactly. It is.
Wow.
It's hard for any elder to not have mobility, physically, or even, to get place to place. So on top of the diagnosis, and on top of, all the things that she was carrying.
It's a heavy role to
Yeah.
hold.
Yeah, and ties into what we were earlier talking about, the mother wound. I was thinking about her. I've been thinking a lot about her. She still comes to my dreams sometimes, and with the anniversary coming up, and with my surgery happening, and all of the things, I think she had the same issues that I do. She was always in the hospital, always like getting a hip replacement, or a stent in her heart. She had 4 heart attacks, in addition to the lung cancer, the brain cancer, the bone cancer. Like, it was all over.
Intense.
And yet she still showed up to work, and like,
Devoted.
so devoted. So
Yeah.
like, this is that's not going to hold me back. No,
Yeah.
it's just a thing.
So I can see
maybe
that
that's where
place
I
in
got
you.
that, yeah.
I can see that place in you. And Western medicine is such a beautiful support when we need it. Like, if your arm is falling off, like, please go to the ER.
Yeah.
But I just think we need to recalibrate to the fact that it's not a root cause solution. And I don't think like the Western medical system is even trained that way. They're trained for emergency.
Right.
Not
Right.
as much for preventative care or root cause. So just has its place.
Yeah. And then we have holistic health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have other resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I just had a question. How did you resolve the memory piece, and what came of that?
It's interesting because you were talking about blood test, genetic testing, and so forth. I did such a deep dive into what's a gene.
Yeah.
What's a gene? It's a potential. It's a possibility. It's not a a life sentence, you know, and
I was going to
it's
say
a
death
protein.
sentence.
Or
But
yeah.
that's more positive.
Well, a lifelong sentence.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a potentiality. It's
Yeah.
a protein.
Right.
A gene is a protein, and it can turn on or off. Like I learned that I have, like I probably don't want to share, but I have serious potentiality for things around memory
Oh, wow.
in my family. Real, like 95% chance of certain things
Wow.
because of the genetic predisposition.
So you found that out.
I found that out,
Okay.
and I said no. I said no. I'm going to do all the things, and I'm going to notice. And I think that's really key. It's so empowering to be like, I can notice.
Yeah.
What led to me feeling like I don't have all my memory right now?
Yeah.
Is it inflammation? Is it I have an unresolved conflict, or I felt slighted, or I felt like I didn't have my voice in a certain situation.
Oof.
And then my brain's been spinning. It's been heating up and just going because I didn't deal with that inflammation.
Yeah.
And so then I can see, well, when I'm inflamed, naturally my blood vessels are, they're activated. And so that's going to affect my memory, my recall, my presence.
Whoa.
So work on the root cause, right? Work on the root cause, go back and say, can we have a reconciliation conversation?
Repair.
Can we do repair? Yeah.
And did that change your memory?
My memory is really good right now. It's
Wow.
really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was just understanding where you were causing inflammation in your own system, bringing awareness to that,
Yeah.
and then freeing that place
Yeah.
to create healing.
Yeah. And, the body's level of inflammation is so dynamic. It's not static. It's constantly changing. So as we become more, as I anyway, as people, I think we become more conscious of how inflammation feels in different parts of the body and what triggers and what ways. We just become so humbled by the complexity of the human body mind connection that it's like, wow, how do we navigate it all individually and then in conjunction with in community with other people?
Yeah, and in relationship.
At different phases of their awareness of their own levels of inflammation. Right?
Yeah. And what I love about what you said is you didn't take the story and get lost in the story of it. You're not ignorant to the fact that there is this gene that could be turned on. Same thing as thyroid disease, right? Like the heavy metals probably turned on the gene for thyroid. My mom has it, my grandmother has it.
Exactly.
But then how do we turn that off or turn that down?
Right.
And you can so easily get lost in the story of like, okay, I have this thing, and how is this going to affect the trajectory of my life?
Right.
And then living in the victim mindset of that story too is just more inflammation.
Right.
So being able to come into a more empowering story while still having the awareness that there's this peace for me
Exactly.
is everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much of pain is really about the story we're holding around that pain?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Instead of the actual sensation that's moving through the body.
Yes. And what would it be like if we all notice one another? Oh, are you in pain right now? When we're not able to say ouch, like whatever kind of pain.
Yeah, attunement to each other.
Inner fortune. That's like the attunement. That's really what I think of each time I say the name of my business, Inner Fortune. It's about attunement to the body, to all the dimensions, the 8 different dimensions of the journal, and to life. The body is really paramount. So I'm elevating the body in my practice with eating workshops and ways of like using tuning forks, attunement, literally using tuning forks to bring people into the resonance of their body.
And this is what you do for your work.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you share more about that?
I am currently on a pause because I have 2 grandbabies that I'm spending a lot of time with while my daughter not only recovers from pregnancy, but also launches a business.
Wow.
So,
kudos to her.
Yes.
Snaps.
It's been a 19-year journey with Inner Fortune. and I've come in real hot, and I've backed out to do other things, other career paths, and I come back in. It's like the river. I just kind of flow with the inner fortune, and so it's still very much alive. This podcast is a project of inner fortune.
Yeah.
It's where I host it, and it's still very present in me, but it's on a pause at the very moment. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I think so many people are devoted, but again, with a story, we can get stuck in, I have to do this thing, or this is my offering, or this is my identity, or this is who I am.
Yeah.
But
there's
allowing,
that. There's definitely that.
Yeah.
There's that.
But allowing the deep listening to be primary, and understanding if life's calling me into a different act of service in this moment, how do I regard that as just as sacred?
Yeah.
And take a minute to shift and pivot, not letting my identity anchor me into maybe something that's asking for a pause in this moment.
Thank you. It's so beautiful. I want to go back a little bit to the diagnosis and the choices that people can make when they get one.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so many ways to claim peace for the body, but they have to be conscious, right? Like when you said not being a victim, I think that I was still a victim, even though I was saying no. I was saying no to Hashimoto's and Graves' disease because I could see it out, right? But I still felt like I could have done so much more care for myself. In the way I hear you, the way you tell the story of how you held that diagnosis, I hear so much love, self-love, so much care. I didn't have that. I was just like, no. That's not exactly like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. But I love your agency in the no, being like, I don't claim this for myself. Yeah, well, I think the love came from survival. I think it came from the dark night of the soul. I think it came from, if I can't perform and I can't push past my boundaries, I think, for a long time I was abandoning myself in many ways, and I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't self-abandon. I couldn't push past my boundaries. My body just wouldn't allow me, physically would not allow me.
What did that look like, some of the things?
Great question. I would be like too dizzy to move around. I would get a ton of pressure in my head. My ears would, basically like my hearing would go out, and I would just hear like muted tones. And then I would hear my heartbeat, like a pulsatile tinnitus. And
I never knew that was the phrase for it, but I got that too.
Yeah, fact check me, because I don't know if that's how you say it.
Pulsatile tinnitus.
But it's something where...
Or they do say tinnitus. It's one of the two.
Oh, tinnitus. Okay.
I went for, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you said that's okay. So I'm going to interrupt. Hearing loss is a huge issue with the thyroid, right? As you know, you're explaining, and I had this as well.
Okay.
And so
no one told me that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the pressure, and as you know, the endocrine and the pressure puts pressure on the eardrum.
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly. And so I have hearing loss, permanent hearing loss in my right ear because of it. And I don't know if it's permanent, but from the hearing test that I had at an institute for this, it was pretty much positioned as permanent.
Wow.
I wonder again,
if that's connected.
Do I have agency to say no to that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder.
I think you do.
Do I have agency to say no to the hearing loss?
Yeah. I think we always have agency.
I mean, the body is so magical.
And it's the story. It's like, this is how much I can hear, and my hearing will expand, and the ways I will hear will expand. And how else can I take in the world? I mean, again, I don't think, we don't have to bypass it. You can be aware that this is a thing. And
choose, like, how am I healing my eardrums? I mean, how
choose
many drummers,
to hold it.
Right? How many drummers are told, oh, you have permanent damage? What if they chose something else for themselves? I'm like, if that's possible, I'm really taking that in right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, energy is so powerful, and energy can be inflammatory or it can be healing. And story has so much to do with how we hold our energy and how we hold our experience.
Yeah.
So I think that's powerful.
Tell your story. Continue telling your self-love story.
Yeah, that's how the symptoms presented mostly. So it would be scary sometimes, right? Like going to the grocery store, kind of like, building myself up to go, cheering myself on. But then I would go in, going from sitting to standing would cause that experience where my ears would go out and I would hear like my heartbeat, and there would be all this pressure in my head. It kind of feels like you're going to pass out. People had said POTS, right? That could be a diagnosis for it.
Say what does that stand for? I forget.
Postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome. Something of that variation.
Right.
And
the low blood pressure.
Yeah.
The shift, the dramatic drop
low
of
to
blood
high,
pressure. Yep.
Or high to low.
I think it's high to low.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. I don't know, right, what it was. I think that was another piece, is trying not to latch on to diagnoses. Like I would see some people in their Instagram bio, right, would be like mast cell, POTS, mold exposure. And I'm like, I am not identifying with that. I'm not claiming that for myself.
Yes.
I can hold, this is something I'm moving through.
Yes.
This is something I'm healing from, but it is not my identity.
Yes.
So, but it would be a scary experience. And sometimes I'd have to leave and go back in the car, wait for it to pass, and drive home, like feeling nervous about driving myself in the car. So I couldn't self-abandon, right? Real. You can't push past that to show up for people, even if it's out of alignment or if you don't have capacity when your body sets a limit. Exactly. So I'd probably been doing that for years until my body had this revolt and was like, no. And so in the absence of being able to do that, I really had to come face to face with worthiness. And I think, growing up, this wasn't anyone's fault in particular, but it was just my experience growing up, not feeling wanted all the time. So becoming needed, because that's a way that you can have connection and avoid abandonment. But it required a lot of self-abandonment too, because just relying on being needed isn't reciprocity in relationships, and it's not authentic. So the chronic illness, 5-6 years experience of different symptoms, and sometimes just being able to see 3 clients and then going back to bed, and that's all I could do. Couldn't tolerate exercise or movement. So in the absence of not being able to do something and to be needed, I had to face, am I still wanted? And do I still have value? And if I can't show up in all of these ways that I attribute to my identity and my value, what do I have left? Like you just kind of have emptiness. But it ended up being a space for me to rebuild connection to self. And I think what was born out of survival in that dark night of the soul was showing up for myself, because I don't think I would have survived that if I didn't birth some internal system of support, which was a lot of internal dialogue of, I'm here with you. I'm never going to leave you like that again. I'm going to be here with you. If I was scared that nobody else would be there, or nobody else would, want to be in connection, how could I still be there with me?
Wow.
Which is really the root cause, I think, for my healing, which is kind of ironic that the root cause of my life healing came from illness.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I needed.
Yeah. Wow. As I'm listening to your story, there's 2 things that are happening. One is I'm just so vibing with that process, and really grateful for you, for what you went through and how you're articulating that, and how inspiring that is to just choose for oneself. I'm here for you. I'm always here. I sing that to my grandsons. I am here with you. I'm right here with you. Whenever I see them starting to get dysregulated, or one, because the other's too small for that. Singing that for myself sounds pretty amazing. I might think of doing that. But I'm also thinking about all the folks who, and myself, who I was when I wasn't able to choose that for myself, and how easy it is to say, and how real and valid it is to say that I don't have the supports to choose that for myself. But is that real? The spirit is always available through every breath. It's a choice. It might be extremely hard choice, being single mom, or being, paid, not paid a living wage, all of the things, not being well housed, all of the things that could make it so justifiably impossible to sing such a song to oneself.
Yeah.
And yet you can, right? We can, and we have to. Like, how else can we come through some of those dark nights? And if there's a ton of dark nights in a row, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
We just have ourselves.
You're right. You have to. And I think it's a good point that many people might not have the safety or the support inside of their bodies to meet themselves in that way. That was me. I didn't know how to meet myself in that way until I had to.
Right.
Until the dark night of the soul, until there is no other option.
Yeah.
Because if you're not there with you, then you're not holding your experience. And that is so immensely painful. That is way more painful than going through chronic illness, chronic pain, is not being with yourself in the experience. So I do think those dark nights, the absence of peace, creates a container where you kind of have to meet yourself or you don't, but then it prolongs and creates a lot more suffering.
Right, because then the diagnosis leads to another diagnosis. Like my mom had one after another. I mean, she had big 3-ring binders for her file at the hospital or at the doctor's, because there was just one thing after another, and like this organ and this joint and this, like blood issue, or so many different organ issues, and she lost, she had macular degeneration. One thing after another, and
body's breaking down.
The body breaks down, and the cancer, metastasizing everywhere. And I just wonder, like, anybody can go through a diagnosis through the proper protocols of Western medicine, and maybe even feel really held through that and grateful for that. But there's more, right? And how do we bring? And is there peace in that? Is there? I really wonder. I think my mom felt peace. I really do. In that situation, I wouldn't have felt peace, being who I am, I think. But she felt really held by her doctors.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And maybe there were ways they were holding her. Obviously, if she felt that had to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But her body was not at all peaceful, having so many disorders.
Well, it's interesting how every journey is different, and sometimes what people need to come back to themselves is different. I mean, I had a friend once who was going through a really hard time, and she said, I wish I could just be admitted to the hospital. She's like, I don't know, I just want a break, and I just want to be held, and I even wish I could get a bad head cold.
I want to be fed. Yeah, that was my mom. She really, just like, that was her vacation kind of spot.
And it's wild to think of that, but true for so many people, that maybe their peace is going to an appointment, feeling listened to, feeling held, hearing I hope you feel better, or take a break, and having the excuse, right? Like the reason to stop moving and take a break.
And having a paper at the end to say, do this and this and this.
There you go.
Right? Okay, I can do this and this and this.
You mean I have to take care of myself in these ways?
Yeah, take this medicine, do whatever,
If you don't have the support to slow down or to prioritize yourself, I mean, your mom's generation, our parents' generation, definitely didn't have that.
Right.
So that could have been a way for her to slow down, to be held, to be almost like forced into prioritizing yourself, which can feel like peace.
Yeah.
So it's just,
I mean, if you don't know it, then that's it.
Yeah.
That must be it.
It's a momentary holding, even if it's not a root cause fix, and even if it perpetuates disease.
Yeah.
But it's just so true that all of our journeys and walks are different.
Yeah.
And where people come into peace is different. What our lessons are, where our wisdom comes from. It's, I don't know, maybe it's all divine.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And the divine in me sees the divine in you, right? So the divine, if we're able to see it in one another, we're able to claim it as community, as sisterhood, or as support in our life. Yeah. And if we're not able to see it in ourselves or claim it in one another, then it's not peace. It's dis-ease.
True.
Well said. And we're really in that. We're in that for real. Like, I lose my peace when I'm in places with people who really struggle to claim their peace or claim that as a goal for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not possible.
Yeah.
The world's so effed up. It's not possible. There's no peace. And that's hard to be like, how do you convince somebody who really at their core is believing that?
Yeah.
You go into yourself, right? Like I have to go into myself and be like, breathe, remember my peace. And maybe my breathing, conscious breathing will just be not convincing anybody of anything different, but saying, oh, yeah, let's breathe.
It's embodied permission.
Embodied permission, I like that.
Yeah.
I could do a lot more of that. When I'm in those moments, really, when I not get hooked and just be like, oh, I'm going to breathe. And that's all I can do, and that's all I want to do. I'm going to breathe for me, and maybe you'll see me breathe.
Maybe you'll feel inspired to breathe.
Yeah. So let's do our heart check-in now. What do you think?
Okay, I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
On that note, right?
How's your heart?
My heart feels really sad. I could cry. I'm really thinking about how real that feels, of like believing that there can't be peace. You know, like whether it's my own moments that I have felt in the past, that I'm not really touching right now my own sense of disbelief in peace, but I know what it feels like to be with others who are struggling to believe that. And I think that's just my own way of projecting right now, because I don't want to shift from being in a really good state, so I'm going to project onto somebody else who I know struggles with that. It's so interesting that I'm going there, but I feel sad
Powerful
for
awareness.
that state of mind, that state of being of hopelessness.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's incredibly painful to be disconnected.
Yeah. I definitely know that sense in myself. And so, yeah, the sadness is mine, and the connections I'm making are with folks that I want more peace with. Yeah. So that feels pretty transformational, like to say, okay, yeah, you're coming to my mind when I think of sadness or when I'm feeling sadness in my body. So maybe there's some work to do together to find peace together, and whether it's relational repair or just a really sweet conversation. Thank you.
Beautifully said. Thanks for sharing that.
And how's your heart?
I just feel a tremendous sense of connection in this moment. And to be able to share my story and be witnessed in that, and to hear parallels to your story and to witness you in that, and for a real, vulnerable, authentic conversation. And I think you so potently point out what you're aware of and where your projections are and where you feel caught in your own stuff and your own spiral. And that's really inspiring to me, to also listen to that clarity come through you and that awareness. So yeah, I feel connected. It feels good in this moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And may it just ripple out and, bring in more folks, more inspiration. I'm going to say something.
Okay.
One of our dreams that we talked about is having people in this studio.
Yeah. Hello.
And talking about these real vulnerabilities, these real battles between what's possible in the body-mind in any particular moment, so that we can witness each other and really hold that vulnerability, person by person, situation by situation.
Yeah. Feel a sense of community and kind of workshop things with people in real time.
Exactly.
And support, and
I love that.
be
I
here
love
together.
that potential for Mujeres Co-Labor for Peace.
Holding it.
Yeah. I was talking to my partner yesterday about this because, this show really is about uplifting women's voices. Women have been doing the emotional labor in a disproportionate way with just so much heaviness, which makes us very strong. But yeah, it's time for balance. It's time to really level out that load, share that among many hands, including any other gender. But anybody is welcome to the audience, because anyone is going to be suffering through the dark nights or diagnoses or struggles with their own relationships, self-understanding, awareness, choices, agency.
Yeah.
So there's that, and so
exciting.
Don't know when that's going to happen, but let's
hold the intention with us.
Water those seeds, exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So I'm wondering, Fallon, with the journey that you've taken with this illness, is there a resource or a book that you read or a path that kind of was trailblazed by someone that comes to your mind that you'd like to uplift?
Yeah, such a good question, and there's so many. But I guess one of the books that I read years ago at the start of this journey for myself was Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. And have also done her meditations on loving kindness, which helps with loving kindness within your own body and holding yourself through illness and pain. And just this concept of accepting the sensations, feelings, thoughts, and emotions that come through your body. Slowing down to be with them, maybe even regarding them as wise teachers, if we let them be. And then letting it pass, letting it move, and not holding on to it, not clinging too tightly. So I remember reading that book, was one of the first books I've read. That was really eye-opening and awakening for me.
Beautiful.
Thanks. How about for you? Any resources that you can think of that inspired your journey with your agency to choose? It's like a traffic jam in my head of people. I think claiming sisterhood, years ago I did this awesome Women's Hub event. It was, how you get those yeses in your body that are so strong that you have to drop everything and just drive to Baltimore. That's what happened, and twice. And just choosing to be wait a minute, I'm hearing different resonance from people who are identified as female authors and what they're saying. It's so different for me, and that was many years ago, probably 14 years ago, that I made that choice to really to uplift and front and center female voices in my life, so that I could kind of rebalance my own gender of knowledge, and maybe patriarchy. There's no patriarchy, but decolonize I know, I'm thinking decolonize
my brain, my soul, to really address the programmed misogyny. And so very many women I have read, and their voices just kind of sing inside me. Not only really your more famous people like Tara Brach, but people locally. There's the clinic in Northampton where I have my practice, which is on pause at the moment. But I just see it everywhere now, and in the healing sanctuary that I'm part of, that's growing. There's the seeds have been planted in me, and I'm seeing them everywhere. So it's a little bit of everybody. But yeah, thank you for sharing that resource, and the many voices out there that are giving agency.
I so resonate with that, and the community that's here. Yeah, some of my own mentors as well. Jamie Kaplis, who I've been working with for years.
Nice.
Such an anchor for me going through this.
Nice.
Many others, so
Beautiful.
deeply resonate.
Yay. Well, that feels like a really nice place to close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that you feel like needs to be said? Okay.
That felt really good.
Excellent. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Mujeres Co-Labor for Peace.
We would love to know if anything touched you, if there's anything you really liked and enjoyed, any questions you have, please reach out. We always love connecting and hearing your feedback.
All right. Till next time.
Thanks, guys.